Now that the Christmas decorations are down, I would like to share with you a couple ways that I'm getting ready for next Christmas right now. This year, we tried a new tradition where I wrapped all of their Christmas books for them to take turns opening each night. It was a big hit. Not only did they have fun opening them every night, but it was a great way to make sure every book got read before we just jumped to the favorites. Once every book was opened, we could go back to the favorites, like this one, Shh, Baby Jesus is Sleeping. So, since it was such a big hit this year, I'm going to go ahead and wrap them for next year today. I saved a box of paper scraps as I wrapped gifts this year, so we can go ahead and use these as much as we can to wrap these. There may be a couple of the bigger books that I don't have big enough scraps for, but at least that'll really cut down on the waste, because normally I don't save these little pieces for a whole year later. They just get squished and wrinkled. So here we go. So I'll be honest, when I first saw this tradition on Pinterest years ago, I thought, who has time for that? Why are we wrapping books? We already have gifts to wrap. But after a few years of the girls only wanting to read their favorite books and several books getting forgotten altogether, I thought this might be a good way to have fun and make sure all the books get read. And it worked better than I could have imagined. They had so much fun with it, and I think they ended up realizing that they liked some of the other books that weren't their last year or year before favorites. So because they're going to be sitting in the storage tub all year, I don't want to put tape directly on the books. So what I'm doing right now is I'm folding a flap of paper over the cover, and that way I can still pull it tight and it's pretty snug, and then secure it with tape, just paper to paper, because I would hate for something to happen with the adhesive and the warmth and moisture. So hopefully that will keep them safe. So another new hack I wanted to share with you was something I started doing last year. As the year went on and I realized things I was going to need or not need the next year, I went ahead and put a note in my phone to remind me in August, September, October, depending on what the item was. So for instance, I have a reminder for October 1st to start buying eggnog. Usually around then it comes out, and I like to go ahead and get a couple jugs. We have a tradition of drinking it as we decorate the Christmas tree, and the girls love it. So I'd hate to wait and not end up getting any. That has happened a couple times where I waited, we got one little jug, and that was it. I know I need to start making it from scratch. I haven't tried that yet. Maybe we can do that next year together. But another thing I will put a reminder in for is like tape. My husband uses a ton of tape when he's wrapping gifts. This year I bought a bunch, and we've got a bunch that I'm going to save for next year. So I already put a reminder in my phone for October. I think I usually start thinking about these things, that we do not need tape, so I won't buy more. That's something that if I don't have a reminder, I'll just buy it, because again, he uses so much tape, we don't want to run out. I want to say it was around 2020, 2021, there was a tape shortage, and it was a problem around here. So I always make sure we have tons of tape. Another thing I put a reminder in for is if we need a specific ribbon or wrapping paper. In the past years, I've had a ribbon that didn't really have a wrapping paper that matched, or if I have a wrapping paper that I need a ribbon to match. I try to keep, as you can see, pretty much all of my papers are reds and whites, but I do like to branch out for gifts that I take elsewhere, like this one. Or I like to have the pink and white to go into the girls' tree. And then I will do neutrals for the gifts that go to my mom's house, because her tree is all neutral. I'm going to do a house tour at her house next year. It's gorgeous. But my mother-in-law does lots of color, so I can do the fun stuff like this, and it doesn't clash with her decor. So I get to kind of have fun with the different styles of gifts, and then just take them to the houses as we get them wrapped. And then we don't have to take everything on Christmas morning or whatever day we do gifts with them. That's another trick. So I just go ahead and get the gifts. Even if you don't do little by little, just a week ahead, you go ahead and take all the gifts to moms or grandmas so you're done and you're not having to take that in addition to the overstimulated kids and the casserole and the dessert and all the things. That can also be another reminder that I've put in this year is next year we do not need wrapping paper. I have plenty of red wrapping paper. We do not need any, so we are set. Otherwise, I won't remember. Hobby Lobby will come out with their paper. I will fall in love with some, and then I won't know. Do we need paper? Do we not need paper? It's been a year. Who can remember? So that's been a really good hack for me to make sure that I'm not spending money on things that we don't really need this year and not forgetting things that we need before it's sold out. I should add a disclaimer that these books are not perfectly wrapped. Thankfully, the girls do not care, but between the fact that they're awfully flat, that these scraps are not always even, and I'm really not the best gift wrapper in the world. That is my husband's job. He wraps the most perfect gifts. That's partially what all the tape is used for. He keeps everything anchored perfectly. His gifts are the best. Thank you so much for watching. I hope one of these tips can bless you like they've blessed us. Happy New Year!